Shabbat Shalom. Our Torah portion this week is Parshat Tisa, which includes the famous story of the golden calf. Within that story, we need to understand that the concept of prayer. There are two types of prayer in life: fixed, regular prayer, what we call Tfilat Keva, and spontaneous prayer, called Tfilat Shaare. We all remember the story of the golden calf, how Moses had delayed coming down the mountain. The Israelites grew impatient and asked Aaron to make a god that they could believe in, that they would follow in the wilderness. Aaron, of course, gathered their gold, cast it into the furnace, and it came out as a calf, which the Israelites began to worship. God sensed that the Israelites were now worshiping a molten image. And God said to Moses, "Leave me alone. Hanichali. Get out of here, because I wish to destroy this people that is so impatient that they could not wait a full 40 days and 40 nights for you to return from the mountain." Hanichali indicated to the rabbis that God wanted no more of Moses' prayer. Moses had interceded on behalf of the people before. Moses had interceded in order to ensure that the people had water, that the people had food, that they had meat to eat in the wilderness. But now, God wanted Moses to step aside. No more spontaneous prayer. Hanichali, leave me alone. And yet the next thing we hear in the Torah is that Moses prayed. Vayechal Moshe. Moses implored God. So how is it? How is it that Moses could implore God if God had already said to him, "Leave me alone, allow me to destroy this stiff-necked people"? The answer given by the Ha'amek Davar, commentary from the end of the 19th century, the answer given is that Moses didn't return to spontaneous prayer, but instead began to pray the regular, fixed prayer, the prayer of the Amidah, Tfilat Keva. That fixed prayer, that prayer that we recite 3 times a day, every day, stirred God. God didn't want and doesn't always want simply spontaneous prayer, but the regularity of our regular conversation with Him. Our conversation through fixed prayer may typically seem one-sided. We don't hear an answer from God, but nonetheless, tradition suggests to us that it is those fixed prayers, it is that daily recitation of prayers like the Amidah, prayers like the Aleinu, prayers like Ashrei, that ultimately move God and make God responsive to our needs. Our needs are great. We have personal and communal needs. And sometimes we are moved to spontaneously pray for our own personal needs. But we need to remember as well that sometimes God says, "Hanichali, leave me alone." No more of the spontaneity. But He responds nonetheless to our daily fixed prayer, Tfilat Keva. Amen.